What's good, y'all? So I wanted to just say something real quick that my friend brought to my attention today. This trend happening. Well, I don't know if it's a trend, but like on TikTok and shit, people will like dissect apart different conspiracy theories or different things that they've observed in the world that could lead people down a rabbit hole and things like that. And so he tagged me in this video of this lady talking about how color is disappearing in the world. And he was saying how I told him about that a few years ago and how it's a lot deeper than people are making it out to be. Just like anything else, there's two sides to it. So for one thing, when it comes to like a lot of people like on TikTok, and it's not even about like TikTok, because you can use any platform to share truth. I made a TikTok. I just have a hard time like being on there consistently, and because I don't really fuck with the vibe of the app, I'm just gonna not force it. But anyway, so that's besides the point. But really, my real point is that it's very short form content, very quick content. So people have to try to put all this information and like pile it into this really short video to just like grab your attention. But I'm not really seeing a lot of what the purpose is in sharing some of this information, just because like, okay, so you realize there's a lack of color in the world. Do you know why is this? Like, what are the implications? What are the solutions? Like, what are we supposed to do with this information? That's what I don't really get about people who are strictly conspiracy theorists. I don't understand, what do y'all want us to do with this information? Like, if reptiles are running the government, the fuck do you want us to do about that? You know what I'm saying? So personally, I just focus on things that empower us, or that we have the ability. Another plane. My bad, y'all. I'm in Inglewood right now. But anyway, so personally, I like to focus on things that either can empower us, or like if we learn more about it, we can use it for our own like growth and development and getting toward our goals, whether that be internal goals with how we want to feel, how we want to the type of like lifestyle we want to live in the world. So how to navigate around the matrix in ways that we can thrive more and things like that. But we have to be careful with the amplification today of so much information. We have to be careful of really bringing down the morale and the frequency of the collective without having any type of solution. So I've always been someone who's open-minded and things like that, but until I really got into this spiritual path, I did not see the purpose in like knowing about everything, all the things that are being done against the collective, and their ability to roll up the other window too, and their ability to thrive and know who they are and what they're here to do and everything like that, because it's a lot of that mystery behind who we are, why we came here, what this earth is, what this plane of existence is. It's a lot of that is what causes a lot of dissonance for people and makes them feel like they're trapped And, you know, some people like to say it's a prison planet, it's a hell planet. It's none of that. It is what you make it. So if, you know, if you're listening to people who are making things out to be like that, be careful, because that's what you're putting in your psyche instead of ways to put yourself in a better situation. You know, you can complain about life, or you can really know what's going on and reap the benefits of that. You know, be one of those people, because a lot of people who have figured out how to be happy on a planet that some people are saying is prison or hell. So that doesn't make sense. But anyway, so my issue with a lot of what's being perpetuated, it's not my issue, but that's going to be y'all issue if you just consume it without a critical mind and without intention. Because what is the intention? Like, what is the purpose? So if you don't have that spiritual backing behind taking in a lot of this information about the truth, then it's not going to serve you well, you know. So this topic is just that I'm using as an example is less color in the world. You know, before COVID started, they started changing like the aesthetics of all the fast food restaurants and things. And like Taco Bell, like, I don't know if y'all remember, I was alive in the 90s. I know I'm getting old. I mean, I was born in the 90s. And Taco Bell used to be like a little fiesta in there. You know, like it used to have little colors and like confetti type of theme and triangles. I totally forgot about that until something like woke up that memory the other day. But, and you know, McDonald's, obviously red, yellow, playpens, all that type of shit. You know, that's a part of the marketing, right? So, because you're marketing at kids, and you know, every color represents something, every number, every symbol, every sigil. So I mean, I was gonna say every sigil, but like logos are sigils for businesses, and they're creating their own sigils to tap into abundance through the conduit that is their business, their brand. And so anyways, though, so less color, yeah, that happened. That's on, and that's happening. But so everything that we see in the physical, right, it started off, it's a reaction to something that is happening already in the etheric realms. Okay, so in this, some people call it spirit realms, you know. So with that, there was a part of the culmination of the next new world order being rolled out, right? So we get a lot of types of predictive programming. So there's two sides, there's multiple sides to everything always, right? So one, if we see a lack of color in the physical world, because it has something to do with what's going on with the collective spiritually, right? So the people who are at the top of these different institutions that have monopolized every industry, so all of the food, all of the entertainment, all of the, pretty much everything, it goes into like a handful of the same companies and families' pockets, right? These conglomerates, even though you hear about all these different corporations, or you see all these different business names, most of them are owned by the same entities. It's just an illusion that there's really that many big independent businesses, okay? So just to get that out of the way. So the people who own these different restaurants, grocery stores, malls, etc., etc., these are the same people, these are the same families that have been building up this current civilization for a very, very, very long time. And as you know, they've done with previous civilizations as well. And so what they do, these people, I always say, they're master occultists. That is how they have put themselves in the position to run the world. So when they first came out with fast food, they have to convince us that it's okay to eat this, because if you think about it, even like my mom's generation, like Hamburger Helper was new for them. So then you come out with fast food, and that's like the next level, right? Because Hamburger Helper, it's convenient. You can make it at home. You don't have to really cook to do it. So then the next step is you don't even have to cook. You can just go to a fast food restaurant and you can have a whole meal ready for you instantly in 2 minutes, right? We all know that you can't truly cook food that fast. So that means we're eating food that is not fresh, and also we don't know, like, how is it so cheap, right? So they find more and more ways to bring down their business costs of operation and to still get a high profit margin. That's why you can get, like, the more time goes by, it's like the more chicken nuggets you can get for cheaper. And, you know, inflation works the other way. But when it comes to fast food, it's like, you can have, if you get a large drink, then it's only 10 cents more. Or if you want 100 chicken nuggets, it's only $5. It's like, what are they doing? Like, are they making the animals? Like, you know, but they had to condition us to not really question it too much. So they created that idea around, they targeted children, and that's usually what they do. They usually target the most benign appearing groups of society. So they'll target children and women, and children is obviously because of their innocence, but and what they can get their parents to buy or to start to believe in, and, you know, things like that. Present new ideas, like kids can present new ideas of how things should be or how things could be or how it's okay for them to be to their parents. And then their parents can, you know, start to be under that program as well and perpetuate it. So, and then women, because since most of them have a little bit more feminine energy than men do, they are more vulnerable to certain types of psychic attack. And you know, because of that abstract part of the brain, the right hemisphere, and there's also an innocence behind feminine energy and even certain bloodlines, and not really being able to believe that, like, people have the capacity to do the things that they do. So it's like, there's no way, like, they could be putting this in the food, or there's no way that could be bad for us and this can be bad for us. Like, why wouldn't they tell us that? Or, you know, just like with the thing that happened that people were putting in here over the past couple of years, it's like people just couldn't believe when we were telling them, like, these people are not good people, they're not invested in your health. Like, they genuinely did not believe us, right? Because they didn't want to believe us, because they didn't want to accept the truth. But for me, this is one of those instances where it makes sense to mention the conspiracy, which is really, we all know that's a government coined term to make people who are trying to amplify the truth sound crazy, and then people who are very basic minded, very programmed and indoctrinated can do the government's job for them and make people feel ostracized for actually having a better grasp on what this reality is and trying to share that with others. so that it could discourage this type of behavior and make digging deeper and finding the truth and things like that be something that's not popular to do or cool to do. And so yeah, people don't want to believe the truth a lot of the times. And so we create different mechanisms to try to psychologically feel better in the reality that we live in. And that comes at a detriment, though, to ourselves. And so so the people that run, that own the majority of the economy are these same families that are very much so master occultists, who have known how to create societies and control them for a really long time. And so they know about how to siphon energy. They know about the codes behind the colors and the symbols. And even though these people might have traditional like religions, if you think about them, they might be Christian, they might be Whoish or whatever you want to call them nowadays, but they practice these mystical versions. It's like Wooish mysticism. You know, they don't, what you think like the Kabbalah and all of that, like how you think about the Bible and the Bible and the I can't think of it right now, but anyway, whatever it is, you think that, okay, like the average person doesn't know magic from that and things, but these people, they know how it's coded. They know what's false. They know what's been removed. And so they know how to monopolize not just this, you know, physical environment and lifestyle that we're experiencing, but they know how to monopolize minds as well. And so one thing that they were doing is contributing to the fear factor and the gloom and the apocalyptic type of vibe that they tried to get everyone to buy into over the past couple of years, so that they could perpetuate their agendas and get people to do the things that they got them to do, because that's when people act desperate or they do things that are risky, that, you know, they really don't know the effects of and things like that. You're willing to do that when you're desperate, when you're in fear of what will happen if you don't, right? So that's also why all of this work is really important, because it's hard to be in fear when you truly have faith, you know, and so it's much harder for you to be manipulated, and you'll be much more inclined to just think for yourself and act accordingly, right? So with these, so that's one thing that they were doing with these colors. Okay, another was predictive programming. It is like what they see as their karmic loophole, that if they show the public previews of what's to come, so they say, you know, dark times of food scarcity, times of people not being able to afford food even if it's at the store because inflation is so high. These things are planned and contrived. They're not they're not natural occurrences. We live in an abundant universe. There's more than enough. There's not overpopulation. There's not food scarcity. There is only an unequal distribution of resources on the planet by people who hoard and by people who keep the masses under the illusion that there is any lack. And so the predictive programming. But what this is also representative of, because remember, we created all of the colors, like the more aware we became, that's when we were able to perceive the electromagnetic spectrum of light, and we could see all of these different colors, because we came out of the darkness, right? Which is all the colors combined. But when you're in pure darkness and you're in this dimension, it has a different connotation, because you can't, the rainbow is all muddled, right? So you don't know what you're looking at. You don't know how to decipher. And what you're looking at is your own being, right? All of your chakras, your energy, frequency, that of others, that of your environment, that of the song that you're listening to, the painting you're looking at, the show you're watching, etc., the food you're eating. And so in this dimension, if you don't know what you're looking at, which is yourself, then you end up in darkness. You're lost. You're wandering around, right? And you're wandering around in darkness without a flashlight. And so this is a lot of what, as I said earlier, everything we see manifest in the physical is an opposite polarity of what's already going on in the spiritual. So many of us are very aware and have been aware for a while. This is a time of great spiritual awakening among the collective. More people are waking up than ever before. Never believe that humanity is just going downhill and backwards. Some people are. Some people want you to believe that that's how things are going. And then, but anyway, so don't believe the hype. Don't buy the hype. Look at your reality. Look at how the things that you've been coming into awareness about, and that the people around you have been coming into awareness about. And so with these people being occultists, they know what time it is, okay? Because it's already written. It's literally written in the stars. We're still transitioning out of the age of Pisces into the age of Aquarius. And we're meant, the general population is meant to receive a lot more information and be able to become a lot more sovereign. So these people have to scramble to try to gather what they can and to try to gain control over us again, and control and trust. And so, trust them with what they tell us is best for us, what we should be doing, how we should be responding, what we should be doing with our bodies. And because not too long ago, people were making people feel like some type of, domestic terrorists for choosing body autonomy. And last time that I checked, I don't know, everyone that I know that did that is still here. So anyway, so the color represents subconscious awareness. So trying to make things look more, dark, more muddled, more gloomy, like even they're doing it also in the sky, covering the sky all the time. And there's multiple layers to that. But a human is not supposed to look at gray sky every day, They're supposed to look at blue sky with the other colors and visible spectrum light, all that goes on. That's what we're supposed to see, and there's codes in that for us. Our eyes respond to that. They take in that light, and so when they try to strip color from everything, it's saying that they want us to be in darkness, wandering around, lost with no direction. They want our conscious awareness to be contracted, as if we don't know what we're looking at when we see darkness, as if we can't find our way around by relying on ourselves, because the majority of the collective relies on external authority figures in the form of politicians, governments, family, friends, bosses, coworkers, what everything you've been indoctrinated to believe your life is supposed to be about, by internalizing all of that. And so here we are in a time where, in reality, so many of us are traveling dimensions, we're tapping in, we're bringing back information here, you know, and nothing can really stop that. But what's happening, our collective subconscious awareness is expanding. So more people actually are finding out what they're looking at, aka who they are, and what this dimension is, more than ever. So yes, they're going to try to make things look so bleak. That's why when you turn on, I pretty much stopped watching TV, because when you turn on like Netflix and whatever, there's so much violence, depravity, war, depression, just mindless behavior. And it's like, why would I feed my energy to all of this consistently? You know, so they're hoping, they're doing everything that they can to push against us being our most exalted selves, and really knowing what's up and expanding our awareness so that we can keep expanding the good of this. Oh, I don't want to say the good, because it's just, you know, it's two sides of the same spectrum, good and bad, right? But to expand what our experience here looks like through us gaining more sovereignty by granting it to ourselves through piercing through that veil of illusion, like so many are right now. So good job, y'all. Thank you for watching. Sending everybody much love.